This LS is in this Corvette, and today it's gonna be running. What is it doing?
Lighting on fire.
What? We still have a lot to do. As you can see, there's a big gaping hole here from the radiator to the starter to the intake. So we're gonna make this quick, easy, and get started. First thing we're gonna get started with is our starter, which is here, all of these wires here. And then I wanted to make sure we got the starter in before we did the exhaust manifold because of the limited space there. We have our new gaskets from Texas Speed for the headers. Whoa, how is this away? Okay. We have the headers in and we have a couple of things on. We tightened down our valve covers. Headers are in, new gaskets. So before we get to the exhaust underneath the car, we're gonna get all of the accessories up front. The water pump, power steering, all of this here, and it'll start to look more like an actual engine with all the stuff in it. It's much easier when you're putting all new things in when they aren't broken and dirty. This one's not as far. I got it. All right, water pump's in. So we're gonna be putting our intake in here shortly. So this is the OEM throttle body, and I have a Gen 2 LS2 throttle body, and it's much bigger. So right now, because I'm running the OEM throttle body, I'm limited on how much air can actually go in. So even though I have a bigger intake, I wasn't really running it at its full capacity because it was limited on how much air was actually coming in because of the throttle body. So this one's much bigger. We needed an adapter harness. Right here, you can buy them, LS throttle body adapter from an LS1 to LS2 and older. But yeah, my friend Zach actually sold this to me for really cheap a while ago. Shout out to Zach. And now we're finally getting it in for all the games. Monkey f***ing a football here, aren't I? Now that adapter plate is off. We have a bolt problem.
I don't think you have any.
Well, okay, we're using, I mean, I have these at least.
40.
This is 50. 50
a little
works.
shorter.
Anyway, so we did have to go to the store to get some new bolts because my new LS2 intake or throttle body didn't have it. But now we should be good to go. Okay, now it's on. Our intake is ready. We have our fuel rails on, our new throttle body. Let's get it on the car now. looks. That is in. Nice. So we put the car up and we're really close to getting it started, and we have an oil cooler plate. We need to make sure we get it buttoned up or else we're just gonna have a giant oil leak. So you'll see it up here. We're gonna be putting a plug in one spot, and then we put in like an actual wire in before we put in our oil filter, and we'll have to connect oil lines in the oil cooler to make sure that it's all circulating. Oil temperature sensor connected. And the whole point of this is so that my oil stays cool and I don't blow another rod bearing. Now I have our oil filter in, our oil cooler adapter plate, and our oil temperature sensor here. So now I just need to run the lines here. I need to run it to an oil cooler, and then it'll have all of the oils. Cody, what did you do?
No.
You broke
What he
it.
did was, I just get some duct tape. We go right back together. So tragic.
Just so that we aren't making a mess while the engine is running with the oil in it, we just looped the lines until we can actually get the oil cooler set up here when we get the radiator and everything installed. We are just hoping to get this Corvette started today. All right, so we have a lot of the things in, not quite everything. We have intake, that's all plugged in, the wiring's done. Obviously the belt and all of that, not everything is in, but it is enough in to where we can try to start it and see how she's gonna idle for a bit. I'm really excited for this. So before we get it actually started, we're gonna crank it for a little bit to try to get the oil pressure up. We did put some oil in there for break-in. We don't have liquid moly in there yet. Once the engine's broken in, we will have some in there, but it looks really, really good. It is time to get it cranking.
Oh boy. Can I do it again? Alright, stop.
What is it doing?
Lighting on fire.
What? Don't do that.
It's getting hot.
Like it's clicking and it's not cranking. It's also not priming the fuel. So I something's not getting something right. I'm holding all the wires on because if I don't, they'll come right off. Can you, without the socket, push and hold the wires in so I can move my hand real quick? Okay. All right, now, where is it? Thought it would help. So we had to redo the wiring on the starter because we had all the ground and positive to one post, which would make sense to why when we plugged in the battery that the car was like turning on even though the key wasn't in the ignition. So all the lights were coming on and it was not working. So now we have to get a ground in the block and then we should be good. So we have fixed the wiring, at least we think so. And now we're gonna give it a whirl. Oh. She starts! It's so loud.
Did you see oil pressure? Was it good?
It was at least at 30, 35. So it was there.
You want to start again, make sure it's good and high?
Okay. So loud. Yeah, it's at 40. It's sitting at 40, which is low for cold start, right? It runs, she runs. So she starts. The hardest part of this is done. We know that it starts. We have a bunch, obviously we still have to do, like getting in the radiator, getting the cooling and everything. And we want to check on this oil pressure issue, like it's starting and it being at about 40 PSI, like which is kind of low for a cold start. As you can see for the ABS module, we still have that hanging out because we got something really fun coming in for my brake system. I'm sure you guys can guess what it is. But thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.